into the stream. Uh-oh. Who's this? Let's see. Brandon, I need help. I need you to mute your 1 second, you guys. Operating 3 different devices right now. Technically, music, right? Let's go into here. Can you guys see me? All right. Thank you guys for waiting. It does take some time to set up and get us started. So how are you guys doing tonight? It's, what is it called? They call this hump day. And I guess in astrology today would be Mercury Day. As far as the planet that is ruling this, this smells so good. Sage stick smells so good. But the planet that rules Wednesdays, just FYI, if you're interested in that, I'll be delving more into that at the Practical Mystics membership level. Okay, so tonight's topic again is you feel like shit because you're full of shit. So that's obviously a self-explanatory topic, but it's kind of hilarious. I thought it was kind of hilarious, pretty catchy, due to the fact that it's it means figuratively, right, and literally. So we are, you know, let's see. Can you guys see me okay? Press 1 if you guys are in the live stream on the site. Okay, so I'm gonna put this over here. Okay, so Will to Wellness Wednesdays is when we delve into holistic health and wellness topics that affect our will to wellness. And so again, tonight's topic is you feel like shit because you look like shit. I say you feel like shit because you look like shit. You feel like shit because you're full of shit. My apologies. Words are powerful. So, but because this is actually true, we're gonna delve into how this is true, how this really affects our health and wellness, which obviously affects our reality. So if you are first time in here, could you put a 1 if someone invited you guys into our on live stream? And let me, okay. So why did I decide to talk about this topic tonight? Well, what's happening in the month of November? We have so-called, let me see. What's happening in the month of November? We have so-called, I don't celebrate it anymore, or we will call it something else. We call it Giving Gratitude Day, but you know, in the public mainstream, it's called Thanksgiving. And traditionally, we know the tradition. Most of my members and clients are living in USA. The tradition is to stuff our faces and to buy a lot of crap, fill ourselves up with crap, and that's the tradition or the norm. But I know a lot of people are changing their ways. So even if they do still celebrate this so-called holiday, they would try to alternate, you know, with healthier options. So that's one reason why I'm talking about this tonight. Another reason is because it's a very common misconception. There seems to be a lot of, how should I say, it's just very common misconception, but it's a pivotal topic that's affecting our health and wellness, especially during such a time when we are in the quote unquote cold and flu season. If you guys missed my last slide, please, one of my previous Will to Wellness Wednesdays last month, one of the topics that we discussed was cold and flu from a holistic perspective. So be sure to check that out because it delves in and gives you a better understanding of what a cold and flu really is, how to prevent cold and flu, and it also next time I have to turn these notifications off when I'm going live. But cold and flu. So it also gives you details about how to prevent a cold and flu, addressing what a cold and flu really is. I delved into that about 90-minute presentation, so please go check that out. I'll probably put some snippets, again, because it is a Will to Wellness public and private video. I'll put some snippets on Instagram, IG, or was it IGTV? And you could check it out at FeFe, the Holistic Gypsy on YouTube. The recording, the replay is there. If you're not a member, you should be a member. If you go on there, you can see, the replays. As you guys know, as my members, you have the whole video library of all my Will to Wellnesses in the video library. Depending on what membership level you have access to that. So that is another reason why we're delving in tonight, because we are in such a pivotal time when, if you are not up to par on your health, it could be used against you, especially if you don't know about health and wellness. So coming out and having holistic health and wellness providers and practitioners really helping to empower and educate and inform people about health and wellness is very pivotal during a time like this, given the situation and what's taking place on the world stage right now when it comes to health. Okay, so people are normally confused and intimidated about holistic health and wellness. So this is another reason why I am talking about this particular topic tonight, right? My aim and intent and goal is to bring clarity, support, and ease to each individual while they're approaching their holistic health and wellness journey. So that is my goal, to bring, to empower, to inform, bring clarity, and hopefully ease, with my support, or just even watching this video and getting more clarity. You should have more, have a more easier time approaching holistic health and healing yourself, detoxifying yourself, and understanding how the language of the body, how the body works. And this is something I took a lot of time studying, which leads me into obviously a very delayed time for newcomers of who I am. Obviously, I'm a human being. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. But I am soul contracted to help people transition and transform their life on a holistic level. That's a whole nother topic. I can delve into the astrology and the placements when it comes to that. But two, I'm obviously designed to be passionate about this. I'm very passionate about this. You read my story online about, I try to put as much in there as I could without making it into a book, which that may come down later down the line. But pretty much, I'm a certified detox specialist, clinical iridologist, regeneration specialist. And regeneration specialist just means that I am certified in helping people heal and regenerate and heal their body on a very cellular, deep level. And I do through that, and I use the tools, fasting and detoxification and lifestyle changes, and I help provide services, support through self-assessment, iridology, and the study of symptomology. I combine those things as well as my intuitive ability, leading me to create a protocol for individuals on a one-on-one level. But this is something I've been studying for about 10 years now. I've been on my journey, I guess about 10 years now myself. So I've self-studied, and then I finally decided to go to an international school of detoxification, who was held and taught by one of the greatest, I think, healers out there, Dr. Robert Morse. He's a master herbalist and naturopathic doctor, and has 50 years of experience. So I am one of his students, and I've also self-studied under many other great healers as well, Dr. Sabi's, Layla Africa work, Miss Jo Pookrum, I think I'm saying her name right. And the list can go on. I'm gonna have to add more contributions on my site. I kind of give a glimpse of some of the pivotal people who have influenced my knowledge, influenced my journey into where I am today, as far as being a holistic health practitioner, as well as having my own life. Obviously, I have my own story, I have my own life. You know, I've struggled. I came from a family that had really poor lifestyle habits. So I may have good genes, but I had really bad health and really bad health symptoms. And that affected a lot of family members. And, you know, growing up, seeing that and noticing, you know, their habits, and obviously putting those things together, or being on the outside looking in and being able to analyze my family and what was their day-to-day habits and how it affected their primary health. So it's a very pivotal topic, and that's, again, another reason why I'm talking about it tonight, because you know, one of the main reasons we feel like shit is because of what we're putting inside our body, obviously. So if we're putting in crap inside of our body, then what, like, it's like 1 + 1 = 2, you know? So you cannot expect to put in crap in your body and then you're gonna have somehow good health. You cannot treat your body poorly or like crap and then expect your body to have good health. So, you know, so that's the overall, but we're gonna delve into more details about that tonight. So hopefully you guys get a good width of who I am. I'm also a spiritual self-empowerment advocate. I advocate spiritual empowerment. I advocate holistic living. I'm an advocate to holistic living. I don't think you can really get true health without being holistic and truly incorporating into your lifestyle on a spiritual, physical, and emotional level. Okay, so so welcome to all the new people who are. This is your first time catching our Will to Wellness. Our Will to Wellness Wednesdays live series, and I'm excited to bring this topic to you guys tonight. I feel a little weird because the last couple of lives since I came back in the rhythm of doing this has been with presentations and slideshows, and I got kind of comfortable doing that, so I wanted to mix it up sometimes and you know, have a more comfortable setting and everything. So welcome to whoever's on Instagram watching. Okay, so my first question was, since our topic again tonight is you feel like shit, you feel like shit because you're full of shit. So what does it mean to feel like shit? That is the first question I want to delve into. So 1 second. Hey Brandon, you know how to see the comment section? Oh, are you on the website? On our streaming on the website? It looks clear? Okay, just had to check. Hi everyone. Hi, I hope you guys are liking this. We're still adjusting. We had just moved actually to a new upgraded space out here in Mexico. So, you know, little still trying to adjust, first of all, to the setting, which I absolutely love, but adjust to all the technology and everything. So yeah. So what does it mean to feel like shit? That is the first question. So you guys are more than welcome to participate wherever you guys are watching. So write that in the comment. Like, what does it mean to feel like shit? Describe what it means to feel like shit. I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds and then like 15 seconds, and then I'm going to answer if I don't see anything pop up. Give me 1 second. Operate all these devices. We are totally in the age of the Aquarius. Okay, so I think the time is up. Okay, so let's go over it. So some of the symptoms to feeling like shit. Let's go over them, okay? First of all, when you feel like shit, which you kind of wonder, like, what does, okay, that's kind of going into too much detail. You feel tired, okay? You feel, you sometimes can get brain fog. You don't feel clear in the head. You feel groggy. You feel sluggish, fatigue. You sometimes get a stomach ache, and you feel bloated, kind of, you know. You get headaches, migraines. You might even get blurry vision, backaches, neck aches. All of these things are correlated. We'll delve into it a little later. And you can even sometimes feel like you're having a hangover. So those are my symptoms, and those are the bodily expressions that makes you feel like shit. You know, you feel like you have a hangover, you feel tired, you have a headache, backache, you feel moody. And now that every time I say moody, classy, moody, ratchet, you know, all of that comes in my head now because I've been blasting that song. But you feel moody, you know, and, you know, sometimes you are ratchet because you have a toxic attitude because you're full of shit. You're full of toxins. So those are some of the symptoms of feeling like shit or feeling like crap, whichever way you would like to express it. Hopefully you guys are, you know, mature and adults enough to be comfortable with the word shit, okay? So we're detox specialists here, you guys. Of course we have to use that word. Why do you feel this way? Okay, so why do we feel this way? We feel this way due to constipation, dehydration, stagnation, due to the quality of what we consume, overtax, which does all of those things affect and create overtaxation on our glands and organs and tissues. So there's like a ripple effect to getting to a point where now your organs and glands and tissues are not performing. You know, but this is usually the first sign that what you're putting in your body is not in harmony with the way the body is designed. So these are the reasons you feel like shit. So how did you get this way? That's the next question. So if you guys read one of my articles that's on FeFe the Holistic Gypsy, if you go in the article section, you don't have to be a member to access this particular article. It says, what is detoxification? It goes into great details about detoxification, and one of the systems that is very pivotal to detoxification is the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is not a common system that people understand or know, especially not in the Western medical mainstream industry. They really kind of shy away and focus on the blood. But the lymphatic system is one of the two interstitial fluids that is all throughout the body. This is a very essential fluid, just like blood is. The lymphatic system actually protects your body, right? It buffers when you have acid, and when you know, everyone learns about acidity and alkaline, and I guess being neutral and all that other stuff. But the lymphatic system is a system that will buffer acids out the body and move the acids. It's the place where all the toxin, acids, and waste goes to. So that's what the lymphatic system does. It also supplies like the fats and lipids it needs to help buffer and protect the integrity of the cells, DNA, and the tissues and organs and glands and all that good stuff, right? So again, the lymphatic system is one of two of the interstitial fluids within the body. Again, we have blood and lymph. So the lymphatic system runs all throughout the body. And these two interstitial fluids, obviously we know what blood does. Blood is like the kitchen. It supplies our body with the nutrients. But if you put crap in it, right? If you put crap on your skin, if you put crap, and when I say crap, we should all know what poisons. I'll probably do another video delving into the science and the chemicals and the names, which I really don't like getting into because I can barely pronounce them. But all the chemicals you put on your body, that's in the ingredients of the food. So if you're putting that in your body, on your skin is breathing, and it's a living organism that is breathing and outputting. It's inputting and outputting. So it's going straight into the bloodstream. So that's one avenue that you get PrEP exposure in the body. The other one is through consumption, you know, obviously breathing, right? Breathing and taking in different gases and toxins within the air, as well as one of the ones that we do every day is eating. You know, so eating is another way. Obviously, we get the consumption of crap and within our body. But I want to delve a little more into the lymphatic system a little more so you guys understand it before we move forward. The lymphatic system and the blood makes up the terrain of the body. The terrain of the body makes up the immunity of the body, okay? And obviously, if you go in to watch my last Will to Wellness video, I delved into cold and flu, where I talked about immunity and the terrain of the body. I even delved in a little bit with the lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system and the blood, again, makes up the terrain of the body. And so if these things are not, you know, these things obviously are codependent on your lifestyle. You know, it's codependent on how much what you're putting in your body, the amount of time it has to process the stuff you're putting in your body, the amount of time it has to utilize, absorb, and digest all those different things. All of those different things are like Tetris, should I say. So if you're not working in synchronicity with the rhythm of the speed of the input and output, this can create a buildup, which most of us have an inherent buildup of crap within our body before we even start to eat on our own. And that is through our mother's terrain, our mother lymphatic system, or our mother's immune system. Again, the lymphatic system is a part of the terrain, which is a part of the immune system. So if our mom was eating all the cupcakes and fried rice and chicken and all the pickles and cheese and all the things that we typically hear about, that's super weird of a combination, and we eat those things, this is affecting our child. To a degree, that depends on your genetics and what was already passed down. You know, it's like a snowball effect, just like the debt, society debt. When your lifestyle is passed down. So if you're wondering why certain people are getting sicker quicker, it is due to the karmatic debt of eating out of alignment is being caught up with the current generation and the generations that's being born now. This is why they are having heart issues, autism, asthma, you name it, including the environmental factors of increase in vaccines, increase in all the different medications and toxins and chemicals that's in our air, in our food, even our clothes, and the stuff we put on our skin. Okay, so are you guys still with me with this? Hopefully I'm not overwhelming you guys. But we're going into why we feel like crap again. I need to probably write this title here so you guys, y'all coming in and out, you understand what's going on. Hi, everyone. On Instagram. Trying to write in the comments, so there we go. Hey. All right. Hopefully that's clear. I did not check my grammar. I'm just trying to move along here so we don't take too much time of your evening tonight. Okay, so we just talked about the lymphatic system, the terrain, and immunity, and knowing that the two interstitial fluids of the body is the blood and the lymphatic system. Cool, we got that. We now know the function of the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system, again, that's where the toxins, the waste goes to. And this is a system that you, just like, you know, when you flush the toilet, you have to like put pressure and momentum to push and flush the toxins out the body. So it's not, if you do not do this, it will sit there and it will just build up and build up, just like, a porta potty type of situation, right? So you have to do certain things to help assist the body move the lymphatic system to flush the toxins without the body. This is not only things you can physically do, but also things you consume to help flush the lymphatic system. And this is what we're going to discuss, right, a little later. So yeah. So now we understand the lymphatic system. Now we talked about organs and glands. So the body obviously is made up of trillions and trillions. We're making it simple. And I like how Dr. Morse puts it. So I'm going to use his way. If you guys have not already came across his work. So I'm just giving my credit and credence to Dr. Morse for the simplicity of breaking this information down. But your body's made up out of trillions of cells, trillions, hundreds of trillions, really, a lot. And they're being born and dying every day. They're shitting, they're eating, they're sleeping. They have a life cycle of their own based off of the different scripts, RNA, DNA, and all that good stuff, right? So you have all of that, and you have the two fluids, excuse me. I have two cameras, so I'm getting a little confused, but two fluids, the blood and the lymphatic system. These are two interstitial fluids. The interstitial fluids mean it runs all throughout the network of the cellular connectivity. So it has access, these two fluids have access to every cell in the body. This is what it uses as the kitchen and the sewer system of the body, okay? So those functions are, so we already kind of went over the cellular function, and then you have, so now that we know what the lymphatic system is, now let's go into eating. So obviously, when we eat, you have digestion happens, you have absorption, and you have utilization, and you have elimination. Now, if you are not, should I say, giving your body time to detox, to eliminate, this is going to affect your health, thus affecting why you feel like crap. We're gonna delve into that. So obviously some of the foods we eat, we put in our bodies, we put in liquids, some people drink soda, liquor, alcohol, processed sugar, all types of different liquids, coffee, teas, you have food, obviously solid food, different degrees of different types of food affects your body differently. Medication and vaccinations. These are the things that we're consuming and exposing the input we're putting in our body. And these are the things that can affect us to feel like crap. Focus on foods. Now we're gonna focus on foods in particularly this particular segment or session, or Will to Wellness presentation tonight, is because first of all, we eat daily and frequently, right? It's one of the most things we eat daily and frequently out of all the things we do, outside of breathing, which that'll probably be another show or another time. But what else? What are some other things? Excuse me if I'm looking down, you guys. I have some notes. So I want to make sure I hit all my points. I'm still working on my professionalism and being a pro at my presentations, but I know you guys are with me with this. Okay. So this is where we can focus on daily habits we can change, right? When it comes to food, we eat it frequently, right? So it's something we can improve, we can change, and it's something we can control. So that's why we're really kind of homing in tonight, obviously. And, health is such a pivotal situation, especially when the weather changes. And if you watch my cold and flu, I talked about the great effect of not having the sun, helping your body, only one of the channels of eliminations. When you live in the more northern Western hemispheres, it gets really cold, or in the Western world, should I say, it gets really cold, and this is when we call it the cold and flu season, because we're getting less sun exposure, which we can dive into, like, you know, the hormone of vitamin D, because it's really a hormone, not a vitamin. But also too, the sun exposure helps your body eliminate through the skin, which is one of the elimination channels. So again, if you watched my previous Will to Wellness, if you didn't, go check it out, YouTube or our library here on our membership. Also, the article, What is Detoxification? It has all 4 of the channels of eliminations there, and I did previous videos delving into the 4 channels of eliminations. But the 4 channels of eliminations, to give a quick run through, is the skin through sweating and opening the pores, and you could you know, stimulate that through exercising, through massage, through movement, through hot and cold therapy, and an internal stimulation is working on the thyroid gland, because that affects the body temperature, which usually the body temperature is opening up or increasing to help remove toxins through the skin. So whenever you're getting fevers, that's what the body is doing. And this is unfortunate that it's not mainstream, that we don't learn the language of the body, because we would be less, we would work with the body if we only understood the symptomology and the language of the body better. There will be less diseases. People will be less in fear of an invisible enemy, or less in fear when their body is out of alignment. They would know how to be in synchronicity with the body, to work with the body and not against it, by reducing the fever and doing other things that we were normally told to do, because because we don't fully understand why, the intelligence of the body, the divinity of the body. And this is what I hope to present and you know, empower you guys through just knowledge. And I guess when you guys self-practice this, realizing, you know, when you're in the flow of body, how it just works so much better. But we get in the way of our healing. We get in the way of, you know, we're the ones who we feel like crap. We're the reason, we're the common factor, denominator, or why we're feeling like crap. You know, there's other factors that we can delve into at another date, you know, dealing with people, sometimes your environment. But one of the huge things, and because I'm all about self-empowerment, is what we can control. And one of the things we can control is our food, is our input, is our output. So, so what are the typical foods that we put in our body? So we're gonna dive into that right now, once I figure out how to operate this. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully you guys, yeah, it's taking some time. I'm a little amateur here, you guys. As you can see, and if you guys are watching on Instagram, I apologize, you guys are not going to be able to see the chart. But join FeFe the Holistic Gypsy to see the full presentation. I have some graphics that I'm showing right now, just FYI. But what we're seeing right here, to all my members who are watching this, is the standard American diet graph. As you can see, one of the, and it's so crazy because now, like, we've influenced the world enough to, this almost kind of matches majority of the planet in their diet. I mean, they may have, you know, different names of food, but it's like still kind of makes up the same kind of proportions there. But as you can see, we have a huge portion where people are eating starch, right? Complex carbs such as rice, potatoes, bread, grains, and all of these different things actually turn into sugar. And it's the sugar that affects your glucose, which affects your insulin level, which also affects the taxation of the body to break it down, because it's not a simple sugar like fruit. And that's a whole misconception with that, because people believe that there is, people believe that, all sugars are bad and all sugars are not bad. That is a myth. That is another topic that I'm gonna have to delve into for clarity, more in depth at another date. But complex sugar, right? And you have processed sugar. Complex sugar is obviously better than processed sugar because it's deriving more and more, is pivoting more and more away from the simple sugars, which are broken down very simply, like fruits. Pretty much fruit sugar is simple sugar. Even vegetables, it has to be broken down where it can affect your glucose level, which, again, when you're a diabetic and all that other stuff, again, I'll have to delve into that another day. But as you can see, a lot of people eat a lot of rice, a lot of potatoes, a lot of pasta, a lot of, the processed refined grains. And then you have the next biggest portion of that chart, of the pie chart that we're looking at, is animal protein. Animal protein is then, again, a big proportion of the standard American diet. I think people kind of eat meat daily on average. And then you have very little greens. As you can see, that's like the smallest slither of this whole pie chart. And then you have, I think, vegetables being the second least, and fruits being, oil being the lowest one, but fruits being also very little compared to, us knowing better and gaining more knowledge about what is the correct way to eat, a more balanced way to eat, should I say, because it's really about, and it's not about right or wrong, it's about cause and effect. So I'm not here ever to tell anyone what to do, but if you're a member of my site, you're obviously on here because you are trying to empower yourself and looking for support and a safe place for self-healing and to obtain information and services and support like that. So I already know my members, we don't fall in that category. And we do know that something was not right in what we were taught. And so this is why we have these presentations, and I do recorded videos, supportive videos, which they'll be coming soon, you guys, so be patient with me, in our video library to explain and break down this information. So on your own terms, you can, it's cause and effect. Is either, we all kind of grew up eating this way, if not worse, right? TV dinners, Hot Pockets. I mean, that was the, I was the late 80s, 90 babies. So that was like really pushed to that generation very heavy, as well as the increase of vaccines and stuff like that. And then again, I talked about the mother terrain being passed down. So these are the reasons of why we feel like crap. And as you can see, this is the standard American proportion rate of how they eat their, I said they, like I'm not included, but how we are taught and told and what was pushed to market on us about how to eat. And you have the Food Drug Administration. First of all, food is a drug, it is a medicine, it's a natural medicine, even though now a lot of food we eat is not natural. So that's why you have Food and Drug Administration all in one quote-unquote agency, because food, like Hippocrates has said, let thy food be thy medicine, which we call him the father of medicine in the Western world, right? So let thy food be thy medicine. So as you can see, this chart is not like, boom. We're eating a lot of cooked, complex, starchy foods that's breaking down to this complex sugar, which is very taxing on the body, which create fermentation, which feeds candidus, which feeds yeast, right? And it's okay to have these bacteria. All of these bacteria have their divine places. But if we're eating out of proportion, we're eating out of balance, then those gut biomes become out of balance. And this causes yeast infections and skin rashes and psoriasis and eczema. And we can just go on and on and on and on about side effects that it can cause, or the ripple effect of food. I'll delve in more on very specific topics like that. But this is a more general video about why we feel like crap, and why we feel like crap, because we're full of crap, because we're going into how we become full of crap. And you are what you eat. That is a video I did last year on my Will to Wellness talks about how you are what you eat, because obviously everything that's being put in your body is going into the terrain of your body, which is the blood and the lymph, and that is what's circulating in all your cells. And so that's what's fueling the cells, or that's what the cells are trying to utilize. And then eventually, if it's not getting enough nutrients, those glands and organs and tissues, they break down, they become stagnant, weak, overtaxed, they're not getting what it needs. And then you have a system. I want to actually go into showing you guys, let's see, get this back up. Okay, so here's another chart right here. Again, FeFe the Holistic Gypsy for you guys. If y'all want to look in the full presentation, y'all are getting just the back view of this. But as you can see in this other chart, I don't know, let me see if I can make it bigger. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this chart better. You know, you could just see the different rates of what's recommended and what the average American is eating, as far as the foods that are recommended to eat. People are eating way more red meat than they're supposed to. A lot of proteins, a lot of sugar, a lot of processed foods, a lot of, like I said, a complex starch and refined grain, which has been very denatured, all the nutrients being stripped out of it, and the body cannot recognize it. And that's another reason we feel like that, because we're eating foods that the body can't recognize, because it's been so refined, especially when you're eating processed foods that has not been naturally put together. And I want to do another video about the difference between genetically modified food, hybrids, organic, and, you know, just giving some more clarity to that, because people do not understand that hybrids are natural. A lot of us are hybrids. we would not be here if we did not cross different species, you know, cross different, combine different types of species together to create, you know, new species and types of variety. So people have a misconception of hybrids and then genetically modified. It's a complete difference. I'm gonna go in on another level of that, but right here in front of us, you guys, we have the detoxification pyramid. This is the ideal way if you're looking to heal and regenerate the body. And when we say what is health, like what does it mean to be healthy? Healthy means heal thyself. So we are being bombarded with energy, and all this energy can never be created or destroyed, only transfer. So we're the input, the output of energy, the production and the balance of energy, and how we handle that, the myopes of energy, right? That's what creates health, is the fluidity of energy. And if we are taxing ourselves with a lot of processed, stagnant, dehydrated, right, dead food that does not have any electrical movement, flow of energy, we transfer that into gas that removed itself while we were cooking in our chemical process of what we call cooking. Now we're putting a lot of that food in our body, which is acid forming food, which takes more energy to digest than it would to, you know, just eat it raw. Some things you eat raw does take a lot of energy That's another topic we go into, like peanuts, you know, certain grains and stuff like that. It's just really hard to digest. But as you can see with the detoxification pyramid chart, that gives you a good idea of foods that will heal you. And obviously we have at the base level, it says degenerative foods. I have this pyramid, if you guys are watching on Instagram, I have this pyramid in, you can see it's called detoxification pyramid. It's in my, one of my posts and prior posts. You go look at the pictures. That's what we're looking at right now. But it says degenerative food, and as you can see the different foods in the baseline of what we would call degenerative food. Now you have generation and you have degeneration. Degeneration is the deterioration of the body. It is not expansion, it's not elevating, it's not healing, it's not improving, it's breaking down the body. So here at the baseline we have, I guess you can see bacon, eggs, the typical stuff that people eat, pancakes, hot dogs, all the different red meats, bread, processed food, sugar, milk, dairy, all that's at the bottom, right? Bread, pasta, hamburger, Coke, I don't know, I can't, you know, y'all see it there. So you have that, and then on the next level, as you can see, on the next level up, let me make sure you guys can still see the chart. See. Okay, awesome. On the next level, as you can see, you have the raw foods. Okay, so raw foods is like the baseline to being in the detoxification zone. Detoxification means healing. This is what you would need to do to not feel like crap, right? Some of the foods we do input in our body, obviously, just to home in before I dove in here anymore, some of the foods you put in your body, here, let me put the camera back here. Some of the foods that we put in our body, like, you know, the cooked and heavy, dense food, okay, that takes energy. Everything is energy. So it's kind of like dead weight when you cook your food because it doesn't have the enzymes to break itself down to help assist when it's in your body. We already have a digestive system and a process and the stomach acid and all that good stuff and all the small intestines, large intestines, all that good stuff, right? But you also eat living food, but the body's designed to eat living food, to have the assistance of living food. You know, that's a whole nother video about, you know, the carnivores and herbivores and all of this stuff. But if you even do a comparison chart, you will see that we are more related to the primates who are frugivores. Primarily frugivores. That does not mean that they don't necessarily eat meat entirely, but the majority of them do not. That's rare, and they do not eat it on the daily basis. They're not made to do that. So in the wild, we know kind of like any days, anything goes, but there is an order in the wild, and we are, as human, connected to the nature and the wild, even though we, you know, are civilized and very intelligent to obviously confuse ourselves and trick ourselves into our own prison and suffering and even death and demise. Because we're very arrogant to believe that we can outsmart nature and how we are actually divinely designed. So some of the foods that are, you know, it's like, you know, the bloatedness and the gas and stuff like that, you know, that's coming from the imbalancement of micro gut biome and your body having, those are signals telling you your body's having a hard time digesting this food. These are subtle signals, right? And then when you have a headache, believe it or not, majority of your headaches is coming from the gut and colon relationship with the brain. So you have, you know, if you are backed up and constipated, you're going to probably get a headache. Well, depending, not probably. I think all of us have had a headache. There's different pedigrees of bodily expressions based off of the working organs and glands and how stagnant we really are. So if you're really constipated, you are more than likely dehydrated and constipated. And, doing, obviously that's a sign that you would need to detox. That's a sign that, and I'm being very careful with suggesting this, but you can use an enema as a remedy. And I don't like to push remedies too much, because I like to focus on getting to a point where we have self-discipline, and we don't abuse these remedies and misuse these remedies, and then we don't change our ways. So I'm more of an advocate of changing our ways and living in a balanced way. But there are remedies you can do to help with relieve that pressure. Obviously, you getting sleep and rest helps, because that gives your body time to fast, where you're not overtaxating the body with any emotional, physical, or chemical stress through food, and interacting with other people that's creating hormone fluctuation and high blood pressure and all that other stuff, as well as again, it's giving your body time to rest. So that gives your body time to break down in the 4 systems that I mentioned before, which is digestion. So it helps break digestion to be more efficient when you slow the inputs that you're putting in, so that we have an equalization on the output. So a lot of people are not even really pooping the normal average poops that they should be having, which is about 2 to 3 times per day, depending on your diet. But being in that range is a healthy range to have fluidity of energy based off of how frequent you eat. Now, if you're eating foods, excuse all the noise, you guys, if you hear anything, but depending on how frequent you eat will determine, and what you eat, right? How you eat and what you eat will determine the efficiency of the body. And of course, the other factors is, like I said, the genetics and what's passed down, and what glands are up and operating efficiently and not overtaxed or just weakened on a genetic level. And these are things you can regenerate. So just FYI, you can regenerate the body. You can regenerate things that have been passed down to you. So, I know people like to have excuses and just live with these badges of honors of names of sicknesses. Obviously, again, I know not my, here at Holistic Tribe Health and Wellness, I know we're not about that. We're obviously here for a reason, and we're watching these videos for a reason. But, so having like brain fog, again, that is having a clogged system. Okay, so again, the gut and digestive system, the gut and the brain is very close, okay? Some people like to say this is the first brain and this is the second brain, but I'm not here to debate that. But just know that they're very tightly correlated. So what you're putting in your body affects your thinking, it affects your mood, let alone the parasites in your body releasing gas, which creates a chemical signal to the brain to have certain thoughts and things like that. That's another video of your thoughts are not your own, because it's all about the microbiome on a micro level, what's going on. You have a whole universe in there. And if you have an imbalanced system, this is what's going to make up what you're craving, how you're feeling, and if you're not satisfying those cravings, again, what the gas is being released through the parasites, again, which is, making you cranky, making you, I need to get this like a zombie. I already know how that goes. This is why when I work with my clients, one of the, when I do their protocols, deworming is essential in the first 2 months, because that helps reduce and help control those cravings enough to where you might still have the emotional dependency level, but we can work through that with support and, all that good stuff. But I digress. So that is another reasons why you're feeling like crap. You have imbalancement of gut biome. And it's okay to have gut biome. Just FYI, I understand that a lot of people get scared. It's the imbalancement, because we have the whole good bacteria, bad bacteria, this good, bad. Okay, all is divine, all has its purpose. It's about balance, flow, synchronicity, harmony in these so-called cause, it's just really more so a better way to look at it all, or approach is cause and effect, not good and bad, because that's when you start to get extreme, and then you be surprised of the quote unquote bad bacteria and why you would need them. They are there for a reason. They help break things down in the body, but having too much of it creates an imbalancement, and it'll take over, and it'll start to express itself in many forms. Like I said, I listed a few before. So that is another reason when we feel like crap. And then you feel tired because now your body's overtaxed, because now it has all this unprocessed food, toxic waste just kind of recirculating through the system, and it doesn't know what to do. And because you keep jamming food in there, and you're not giving your body enough time, especially if you're eating more denser, heavier, richer foods, higher protein foods, you're eating complex carbs, and foods, we already should know refined sugar and all those different things. Like, we should know that. I don't even think I have to do a video on that, but y'all let me know. I can go into the effects of that. I'll probably just do like a recording of that. I don't think I need to go live on that one. But if you are eating more denser foods, they have different digestive times, okay? And the digestive time is all predicated upon the efficiency of your body. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a chart just to get an idea of the suggested, digestive time. But our systems are so sluggish, so overtaxed that, again, most of the people I see are not even pooping on a regular. So this is saying that their digestive system is not even on the scale to be in the time frame that I'm about to show you guys. But it's going to give you an average time frame of a healthy, working, efficient system, and how much time it would take to digest those particular types of food. So we're going to go into that. Okay, here we are. Okay, as you guys can see, my Holistic Tribe members, as you can see, this is a chart, and I'll be looking a little bit off camera right now to look at the chart, but this is a digestive, it's digestion time for different foods. So it gives you an idea of an ideal time it takes to break down foods when your system is working efficiently. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer that, again, this is based off of each individual body, but this is the average time in the study and all that stuff. And I'm gonna go over in a second, but if you are doing poor food combining, this can obviously affect this digestive chart. So that is something we're gonna delve a little bit in tonight, but again, I'm gonna break some of the stuff I'm talking about tonight in very shorter videos, more precise videos, so we can really get in and have an understanding of each one, because I know this might be a lot for people who are walking into changing their lifestyle or trying to transition into a more holistic, healthier lifestyle where they that are feasible for them to get the results they want for their self-healing journey. So here in this chart, as you can see, we have a list of foods. The first one on the list that takes the least amount of time is watermelon. So melons and water, very high watery fruit. This is actually the first thing that I break my fast with in the morning, just FYI, because it's very optimal to break your fast with, you drink water. Some people, obviously you're breaking your fast, so you can either continue to fast, but you can also, watermelon takes the least amount of time. It takes about 20 minutes to digest. So it helps literally just give your body minerals and vitamins but also it flushes the system. So whatever that was remaining there from last night, all the fasting you did, because when you're going to sleep, you're fasting. Your body is getting time to reset, to digest all the food from prior and handle, or attempt to handle, should I say, depending on the efficiency. But even when you feel like crap, you probably are working or struggling with sleep as well. So you have a lot of activity and that's going on, and this can affect, again, the glands in the body. So at a certain point, depending on the pedigree of the impact, and like I said, the genetic of you, how you even came out into this world, and then it's like you're adding on debt onto a system that wasn't working fully efficiently before. So a lot of us think like, oh, well, we didn't really have too many crazy symptoms up until a certain age. But you can, I've done children iris charts, and you can see they're coming out with genetic weaknesses and health issues as well. Some, take different forms. This is what you have babies throwing up and eczema and different things of that. This is the body trying to get rid of the toxins and still, but then it gets to a point where the body's so overburdened, it stops even trying on those levels. And that's when now we are just breaking down the functions of the glands and the organs and stuff like that. And, that's a whole nother topic. You have different levels of expressions of diseases based off of the stagnation and the weak genetics. Okay? But that's another topic. I have a lot of videos to make for the club here. I have a lot of videos for you guys to make to break this information down, so you guys can be just as snippety, snappy, sharp. Because that's the goal, is to get you guys to a point where you do not need me. You can watch these videos, and you will be able to have the information broken down efficiently enough, and hopefully you apply it enough where you can see this to be true for yourself. And once you see this to be true for yourself, like, you're not scared of any health issue that's crisis, pain. Not going to use those buzzwords here, especially since I'm already kicked off of Facebook, but you get my drift. So watermelon, 20 minutes. So yeah, I eat that in the morning because it helps flush the system. It is a very great way to transition and break your fast, transition into getting the body acquainted to, eating and stuff. I don't eat to be full. Obviously, I eat to live. There are times where I do pig out. I'm just FYI, I'm keeping it real. But obviously, when I'm detoxing and stuff like that, I definitely try to stay in the flow and in the range that is going to allow my body to heal without putting back and taxing on foods that are detrimental and backpedaling from my healing progress. So watermelon, 20 minutes, oranges and grapes, 30 minutes. You have apples, pears, cherries, 40 minutes. Fresh tomatoes, cucumber, celery, 40 minutes. Spinach, cauliflower, so steamed spinach and cauliflower. As you guys know, if you work with me, this is on the lower end of detoxification level when it comes to like the steamed vegetables. That's as low as we go, especially when we're healing and we're detoxing like tumors and other stuff like that. But this is the lower scale of still detoxification mode. So if you're trying to speed or slow down your detoxification mode, you want to go with foods that are more high water content, more electrical, more flow of energy. And then, if you're trying to slow your detoxification level, you can start dealing with, the lowest, I should say, range of detoxification would be steamed vegetables. So vegetables you can eat steamed. It's not too taxing in the body, like zucchini, squash, spinach, carrots, even sweet potatoes. Those would be still in the range of detoxification, just on a very, very slow end. So when you're working with me, obviously I put you on a minimum of a 4-month protocol, and we're trying to, get results by then. So we're not really teetering too much on the steamed foods, but we do transition, together with that until we adjust to eating such a light, fluid, high vibrational diet. Because we're so used to feeling boggled down and dense, and we're used to also being able to use food as a comfort thing. This is another video I made in my Will to Wellness before. If you go to video library, why do we eat the way we eat? We talked about the emotions, attachments to eating and stuffing our faces because of not being able to really process or deal with the emotional stress and traumas that we're dealing with every day. So this is why we call certain foods comfort foods, because they're comforting our emotions, totally not comforting our body, okay? And they temporarily soothe us because of an emotional, not really, of course, chemical, a temporary chemical, but it impacts our body and it harms our body, and then we end up getting the itis, feeling sluggish, feeling tired, feeling like we had a hangover, or like you had a one-night stand type of situation with food. And that high that you're on just wears off, and then that's kind of like your baseline. And we don't want that to be our mood forever. So we're gonna delve back into, as you can see, going into more denser foods. You have boiled eggs. Sorry, I made that face, you guys. I used to love eggs, but I'm so far from eating eggs now. It's just ugh, my face muscles. Also, I learned that I'm allergic to eggs, so obviously. Later, allergic is that's a whole other thing, but I'm not gonna ramble too much. Okay, so boiled eggs, it takes 45 minutes to digest, or is the average time of digestion. Boiled roots, vegetables, carrots, like beets and turnips and more heartier vegetables, takes 50 minutes for that to digest. And then you have fish, cod, salmon, that takes between 30 to 60 minutes. And then you have potatoes, the very hearty potatoes, an hour. So even steamed potatoes are more, like I said, on a slower end, but they're still living foods. They still have some enzymes and electrical activity in there. But brown rice, oatmeal, the grains, and I think they're usually refined grains, that takes an hour and a half. So, and the list keeps going on. You have cheese. Cheese takes 2 hours. Chicken takes 2 hours. Beef takes 3 to 4. Cheese, 3 to 4.5. Pork, 4 to 5.5 hours to digest. So that's the list right there, you guys. If you are interested in getting this list, I will probably put it up in the files and documents section. You want to keep that as a download for yourself or just for references. For the ones who are just really like science and brainy and stuff like that, I'll upload that in the files and documents section this weekend. But yeah, so as you can see, there is obviously a hierarchy of food and how taxing it is to the body and how long it takes for the body to break it down. Now, again, you're eating cooked food, dehydrated foods, and meats and stuff like that. This is going to be more taxing on the body. Like proteins is more taxing on the body because, first of all, the body cannot utilize protein. It has to break it down. So any protein, just FYI, animal or any protein, the body cannot just straight out use the protein. It has to break it down into amino acids, and that becomes, to break it down into that form, there is an alchemical process that's taking place within the body that is changing your pH levels and the chemistry of the body, which is thus changing the pH level of the body, which thus can create inflammation. And you guys hear, Dr. Sabi's and the mucus and all the other derivatives that come off from, or should I say symptoms that derive from eating high protein foods. So that's another video I'll delve into later about proteins and, really it's not about it being, again, good or bad. I know we keep having this concept, It's about moderation and knowing how this is affecting your body and what's taking place. So you know, like, okay, maybe I'll eat meat once a month, or I detox twice a year for about 3 months. So 6 months out of the year, I'm detoxing and I do not eat meat because I'm giving my body a chance to regenerate and detox, and I'm finding healthier supplements to supplement that is not as taxing on the body, right? But, or I, eat meat, So, I'm not one to be here to be too dogmatic, right? And make this a religion or a cult or another club or elite club or something like that. No. It's all about cause and effects and understanding energy and understanding chemistry and understanding the reaction that's taking place within the body. When we understand that, and then we understand symptomology, this is what I'll be expressing and delving more and more into in depth in my videos. So when you understand that, you can understand that everything has its place in moderation if you choose to. Now, if you choose not to, that's neither here or there. That's not, I'm not here to label it as good and bad. But just know that everything is just about balance of energy. And detoxification is a necessary thing for balance of energy. So you do not feel like crap, and understanding the consequences of the times it takes to digest certain foods. So you understand, first of all, how to eat. It's not even about what you eat, it's how to eat. So if, like, you should not be eating cooked food and then eating fruits later in the evening. Why? Because as you can look on the chart and we just went over, pork takes about 4 to 5 hours on a good day of digestion system. So if you've already just been eating processed crap and all types of crap, and now you want to eat pork, right? Or let's just go with beef or something like that. Like what's more normal? A hamburger or something, right? If you've eaten that earlier and then you decide to go eat fruit, now if you look at the digestion time, okay? I'm trying to make my hands even. Digestion time. You have, beef that takes 5 hours, then you eat fruit for dessert, or you eat fruit for like 3 hours later. Guess what's going to happen? The fruit is going to break down faster than the meat, and it's going to ferment and just sit there because now the meat's still sitting there, going through its process of being broken down enough to even be, liquefied and then solidified as poop and all, the whole process of, from digestion to being released out the body. Now you're going to get an alcohol hangover situation where, which I'm sure some of you guys I've experienced multiple times because, I had my family, I've inherited a very terrible digestive system that has been the pivotal reason of all the other glandular and organ weaknesses in my body. And that's usually the case. That's why it's very important to understand the body and how it works and, the symptomology of it. But you have the meat sitting there, sitting. 2 hours later, 3 hours later, you eat fruit. Or not even that time, whatever time. My point is, you eat fruit, right? After you've eaten cooked, dense food, which takes longer to digest within the body. Okay, so cooked, dense foods takes longer to digest in the body. So if you even are going to eat, processed foods, cooked foods, if you're still there, that is fine. Just know what you're doing. Know that if you eat that and then you eat fruit after, it is going to create a fermentation process, which is going to create an alcohol effect, because literally that's what's taking place. The fruit, we were just moving this weekend and the guy gave us fermented pineapple juice that literally tastes like pineapple wine, so the fruit fermented, turned into this alcohol liquefaction, and now it's sitting there on top of the meat, and it can't be pushed out throughout the body because the meat's still sitting there working on being liquefied and solidified to be exit throughout the body. So now the alcohol is being absorbed in the blood, which creates, again, the same effect as if you were to get drunk. This is why you got the brain fog, right? And it's going to affect you differently than you just drinking right up here, because now you have it coming, it's happening all down in this area, but it's going through the blood and the lymph. Again, it's interstitial fluid circulating throughout the body. So now you have the poor memory, brain fog, you cranky, you just like, oh, the sun, you know what I mean? And you're feeling exactly how you would feel if you had like a hangover or something up to that effect. And you're feeling this way because of the poor combination of food, okay? And you're in the gut and being full of shit. And so one of the remedies, okay, and I'm very careful with speaking with remedies, so I caution you, is one of the reliefs you can do if you have a poor peristalsis system that helps push the poop out, and you're backed up and you intend to eat healthier, but you just need something to help reboot you ASAP, right? Because you may have something to go to, something like that, is an enema colonic, right? You could do, or what do they call it? They call it water flushes, or I don't know, they have different names for what I just said, but enema colonic, which is pretty much you taking distilled water up the butt and you flushing your system out that way to help clear the lower portion of the gut. This will help clear your mood instantly. I don't know if you guys ever got a colonic or enema, but you instantly have more chi, more flow of energy. You instantly feel more clear, right? Especially, so doing an enema and stuff like that. But this is something you do not want to abuse. You do not want to misuse. You do not want to make this a part of your daily habits, right? This is more of the art side of detoxification. And so you have to like move according to the lifestyle and incorporate that type of thing in with caution, should I say. But that is one way you could release that. But obviously another thing that is more empowering and that is more long-standing is changing the way you eat, is learning how to eat, obviously just know that fruits, melons are more easier to digest, takes very little time to digest. And then you have, you go down to different scales based off like the level of the toughness of the fiber of the fruit and the water content, but this is why fruit is higher on the detoxification pyramid outside of liquid, water, and dry. And those will be topics that I'll delve into more in depth. I'll be going in each portion of the pyramid, of the detoxification pyramid, to get more depth about how to utilize each one with balance and care, of course. So I have to do fundamental videos first before I really go into going into those levels, because it does require a great level of self-discipline and understanding the science and how the system works enough to bring in like the arts to really go into those high levels of regeneration of healing and really reversing genetic weaknesses and a lot of the illnesses and traits being passed down. You can really regenerate the body, and that's a thing that I'm practicing within myself and my family. As much as they want to participate, of course, I try not to force them too much. But this is incorporated into our lifestyle on the base level. We primarily eat high raw fruits throughout the day. Occasionally we do eat cooked food, and we with moderation. But we also give ourselves time. We obviously govern our bodies. We're gauging based off of where we're at, what we're doing, what we're handling. But that will be, again, I have to delve into all these different pivot, because I pivot a lot in my conversations. But how are you guys feeling? What time is it? So awesome. I've been talking for a long ass time. I've been talking for the longest time. I'm in the flow, you guys. So I hope you guys like this video. So you understand why you feel like shit. You know, it is something that you can change. You obviously can change based off your lifestyle, based off of what you eat. Understanding, you know, we all know the old way of thinking and how that's not working for us. And we're in the age of information, so we do know that eating a more balanced way. And when I say balance, it means balance with a flow of energy. And so we know foods that keep us within balance is foods that are fluent, and that is fruits. And that's not to take away vegetables. Vegetables are there to ground you. Vegetables have a lot of mineral and nutrients content, but they're just harder to break down on the body. So yes, you can, of course, vegetables, we eat vegetables throughout the day. So just, you know what I mean? But when you're in a level where you're fully trying to get the body in a state of ease enough to get rid of the dis-ease, you want to eat high vibrational fluids, hydrating, less taxing fibers that it has to break down, which is fruit. As we went over the chart, it has different digestive times based off of the, that's another thing, like it's called biophotons, but based off of the frequency of the food. And fruits is, you know, one of the foods that grow closer to the sun, so it holds and has higher vibrational energy. So therefore, the enzymes and stuff in there are very active, and it just has obviously more water content, so more fluidity. So if you understand on that level, you can understand how to not feel like crap. And I actually have a part 2 called Cut the Crap, okay? Or Cut the Shit, whatever you want to call it. Cut the crap, cut the shit, right? That is when we talk about how to eliminate, what to eliminate, and going and walking through that process. So that would be, I believe, on the 25th, the 4th Wednesday of this month. I think the day before Thanksgiving, because I think Thanksgiving is the 4th Thursday of the month. So it'll be Wednesday. If you go into the event section on our website, you'll see Cut the Crap, which it coincides with this presentation, this live stream tonight. And I'm hoping this was helpful. Let me know if this was helpful in the comment section, you guys. But yeah, the recording will be posted here in the video library after we get off tonight. And just FYI to all my members and anyone thinking to become a member of FeFe, the Holistic Gypsy.com. I am FeFe, the Holistic Gypsy, aka the Practical Mystic. I am the host and founder, certified detox specialist, clinical iridologist, I tongue twist myself every time, regeneration specialist, and I'm here to help empower, support, and make more ease with your journey in your holistic health and wellness and healing journey. So I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I hope this information was empowering, insightful, and helpful. And be sure to share this video with others. Oh, by the way, I do have a 10% off of any herbal products in our membership shop. It's, again, I gave you guys the code. Hopefully you guys got that. You must be a member, so even if you're watching this, the code is Give Gratitude 2020. You won't even be able to access this if you're watching unless you're a member. So you're not even going to be able to access the shop until you're a member. But that is the code. I don't really have an expiration date of that. We are in November, which is the month of gratitude, or we call Thanksgiving. I just had to change the title because of the history, and I just don't want to take part in relishing in the dark history. And I want to honor our ancestors and our indigenous people and my indigenous bloodline with changing it to Giving Gratitude Day or Friendsgiving or something of that nature, if you understand what I'm saying. So so that's the code for this month. I'm also rechanging some things. So with the Will to Wellness, Detox. Just be sure I'll inform you guys through your newsletters, as you guys should already know, and in the group. So if you have any questions with that, let me know. I do have Will to Wellness Together. I encourage those who are looking to detox with their loved ones and their family. If you're a couple, if you have, your grandparents, your parents, things of that, and you're looking to support them and support each other on your journey to health and wellness, please know I have a Will to Wellness Together program. I do have a special for you guys. Let me know if you're interested in that as a member. You must first be a member, okay? So I don't try to budget my time. When you go in there as a member, you go into the services, because you'll have access to my services, and then you can book a session with me, and we can, you can let me know how many people was involved and what's going on with everyone's health, take the self-assessment, and I'll, agree to take you guys on as a client as a whole, and I'll give you a quote and a percentage off of your Will to Wellness Together. Okay, so have a good night. Have a good Wednesday. I will talk to you guys in our next event. I'm actually, I think the next event I'm doing is with Alkaline. I'm having a collaborative event with a different company, so I'll probably be kind of giving you guys a heads up about that there. And again, email, you already know, or in the group. If you guys, I know some of my members have been in trouble with our private group. You have to download the app to be in the group, so we communicate there more frequently throughout the day. So, we post there. Feel free to post there in the Holistic Tribe group. You can post just like Facebook, just like social media. But yeah, I'm going to get off of here because I talk too much. So take care. Have a good night. Peace. Okay.